Oh, it finally happened. The empire that once ruled stars has crumbled, and guess who's standing on the ashes holding a microphone and laughing like a villain? 50 Cent. Yes, Mr. Petty himself just roasted Lil Meech so hard after the BMF Cancellation that fans are calling it the most disrespectful comedy special of the year. This isn't a mild jab. This is the full-blown 50 Cent humiliation Olympics. And Lil Meech just got gold for getting flamed. When BM got axed, the internet expected sadness, but instead, they got 50 lighting a cigar and posting memes like he just pulled off a robbery on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And it's not just what 50 said, it's how he said it. The man turned disappointment into a victory lap. He made a cancelled show look like a marketing campaign for his next insult. You think the Kardashians bring drama? Please! This feud makes their family dinners look like kindergarten snack time. From leaks, backhanded posts, and ruthless tweets to DMs allegedly exposing what went wrong behind the cameras, this isn't just TV gossip. This is Hollywood warfare, and the wildest part. 50 Cent says he warned everyone. Welcome to the drama that broke the internet. BM's downfall, Meech's meltdown, and 50 Cent's most savage clapback ever. It started like every other Hollywood heartbreak story: bright lights, big dreams, and a 50 Cent explosion waiting to happen. BMF was supposed to be 50's crown jewel. It had the street cred, the money, and the kind of loyal fan base that would quote entire episodes like scripture. And right in the middle of it all was Lil Meech, the chosen one. The real Big Meech's son. Born for the role, baptized in luxury, and backed by one of the pettiest geniuses alive, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. But then came the twist nobody saw coming. Stars, the network that built its brand on 50's empire of bullets and betrayal, hit the big red button. BMF, the show that was supposed to outlive every spin-off, was done. Cancelled. Gone like a tax refund in a strip club. Fans were shocked. Lil Meech stayed quiet. And 50 Cent? Oh, he didn't mourn. He celebrated. Within minutes, 50 went from executive producer to online executioner. He didn't just post about the cancellation, he weaponized it. The first meme he dropped? A photo of him laughing in a studio chair with the caption, "When you tell them to show up on time and they don't listen." Boom. The internet exploded. This wasn't corporate damage control. This was 50 turning tragedy into trolling theater. His comment sections turned into comedy clubs overnight. Fans wrote, "Bro cancelled his own show just for the punchline." Another said, 50 don't take LS, he recycles them into marketing. But underneath the jokes was a storm brewing. People wanted answers. How does a hit show with cult-like fans suddenly get axed? How do you lose a powerhouse like BMF when every episode trends on Twitter faster than a Nicki Minaj meltdown? Well, the whispers started pouring in, and they weren't pretty. Rumors claimed 50 and Lil Meech had been clashing for months. One insider said, they were cool in season 1. By season 3, it was ego versus empire. Another claimed 50 was furious about Meech's celebrity behavior, skipping rehearsals, showing up late, and treating the set like an after-party. Now, whether that's true or not, 50 Cent's reputation says it all. He doesn't do patience. The man's idea of diplomacy is a diss track. And when word got out that production delays and budget overruns were happening because of cast issues, 50 allegedly went full CEO of Petty Enterprises. According to sources close to stars, he basically said, "Fix it or kill it." Guess which option won? When stars confirmed the cancellation, 50 went online like a kid on Christmas morning. "Guess we won't have to babysit anymore," he posted. The shade was nuclear. And of course, he tagged Lil Meech. The replies? Pure chaos. Fans begged 50 to chill. Others cheered him on like it was a boxing match. One comment said, 50 out here handing out pink slips and punchlines. Another read, he cancelled BMF and Meech's career in the same post. But 50 wasn't done. Oh no, this was the pre-show. A few hours later, he posted an old clip of Lil Meech trying to rap, captioning it, "This why I told him to focus on acting." At that moment, the internet broke. Everyone knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was war. And Lil Meech, he tried to stay classy. He posted a calm statement thanking the fans, saying, BMF will always be bigger than TV. But of course, 50 Cent saw that as an open invitation. He reposted it with, bigger than TV but smaller than ratings. Ouch! This man doesn't argue, he incinerates. He turns social media into a battlefield, and the algorithm into his sidekick. By the next morning, every gossip page from Hollywood Unlocked to the Shade Room was dissecting the fallout. Headlines like 50 Cent destroys Lil Meech after BMF cancellation were trending, and 50 loved every second of it. Because here's the secret about 50. He doesn't troll for revenge, he trolls for relevance. Every feud is a free advertisement. Every punchline is a press release. While fans were arguing about who was right, 50 was laughing all the way to his next deal. Still, the mess was far from over. Industry insiders began leaking details about what really went wrong. According to one source, 50 Cent was beyond frustrated with stars long before BMF's collapse. He'd accused them of moving like amateurs and even threatened to take his projects elsewhere. Combine that with behind-the-scenes tension, and the BMF set became less Hollywood production and more love and hip-hop with better lighting. Then came the final straw. Lil Meech allegedly missed a critical shoot day for personal reasons. Instead of apologizing privately, he went live that night, posting a video of himself in designer clothes saying, I'm the real BMF, they can't cancel me. You can practically hear 50's blood pressure rising from across the internet. That clip didn't just irritate 50, it became meme fuel. Within hours, fans were splicing the video with scenes of 50 shaking his head in interviews. One viral caption read, 50 after seeing Meech go live instead of going to work. The next morning, 50 dropped another nuke. He posted a photo of himself in front of Star's headquarters with a caption, told them to save money. Guess I meant by cutting cast. At that point, even celebrities started chiming in. Snoop Dogg commented, 50 playing chess while y'all playing Candy Crush. Fat Joe joked, I thought BMF meant beef made forever. And fans? They were eating it up like gossip candy. But beneath the trolling, there was a pattern. This wasn't just about BMF, it was about 50's legacy. The man built an empire of dominance. Power, Ghost, Raising Cain, and all his shows reflected control, loyalty, betrayal, and payback. Now, his real-life story was mirroring his scripts. He was the boss who didn't tolerate disrespect, not from actors, not from networks, not from anyone. And Lil Meech, intentionally or not, had just become the latest casualty in 50's never-ending quest to prove who's really in charge. One insider summed it up perfectly. When you work for 50 Cent, you don't just act, you audition for survival. So as BMF faded from Stars' lineup, fans didn't mourn the show, they tuned into the drama. Because let's face it, 50's Instagram had more plot twists than an entire season, and the man was thriving. He turned one cancellation into a global trending topic. While most producers would go quiet, 50 Cent doubled down. He was planning new shows, new deals, and new ways to remind the world that his revenge posts come with executive producer credits. But if you thought this was the end of the story, think again. Because Lil Meech was about to hit back, the fans were about to divide. And 50 Cent was gearing up for round 2, a trolling rampage so savage it made Hollywood itself look like the hood version of Game of Thrones. By the time the sun came up the next day, the internet had turned the BMF cancellation into a national spectacle. Twitter spaces were filled with conspiracy theories. YouTube channels were uploading what really happened between 50 Cent and Lil Meech videos every 10 minutes. And Instagram was one big virtual coliseum with 50 Cent standing at the center, swinging insults like gladiator blades. He didn't just stop at memes, he went full scorched earth mode. The first blow of the day, a screenshot of a fan comment that said, Meech was carrying BMF. 50 reposted it with his own caption, carrying it where? To cancellation? And just like that, the internet caught fire again. You could practically hear the Wi-Fi melting. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Team Meech versus Team 50. One fan wrote, at least Meech kept it real. Another clapped back, real broke. 'Cause the show gone. Then came the live reactions. Celebrities couldn't help themselves. 50's name is like social media caffeine, he keeps everyone awake. Boozy Badaz went on IG Live saying, "Man, 50 be trolling too hard, but he tellin' the truth." Fabulous commented, "Don't mess with the man who made Get Rich or Die Tryin'. He gon' get rich off roasting you." And Snoop Dogg, again, delivered another instant meme. "Somebody tell 50 to log off before he turns the Wi-Fi into a weapon." But what sent the feud nuclear wasn't just the trolling, it was the leaks. Multiple reports claimed 50 Cent was already planning to recast BM for a potential reboot without Lil Meech. That's right. The man wasn't just canceling his star, he was trying to replace him, according to one industry insider. 50 was in talks with streaming platforms to revive BMF under a new deal, but with a more disciplined lead. The source even claimed 50 said, "Talent's replaceable, discipline ain't." The second that leak hit Twitter, the memes multiplied like rabbits. One showed a photo of Denzel Washington's son with the caption, "50 on the phone like, you busy next week?" Another had a picture of 50 himself with a fake mustache saying, "Fine, I'll play Meech if I have to." But here's where the twist came, because while 50 was clowning, Lil Meech was plotting. 3 days of silence. No posts, no comments, just quiet. The internet thought he'd given up, but then, out of nowhere, Meech went live. The energy was different this time. Calm but heavy. "I see all the jokes," he said. "I see all the memes. Y'all think this a game, but this my real life. That's my family name. That's my legacy. I ain't responding to hate, I'm responding to disrespect." It was a subtle shot, but everyone knew who it was for. The comments were going crazy. "He talking 'bout 50. He finally clapping back. Bro, you better have a plan." And oh, he did, because by the next day, a new post appeared, a black and white photo of Lil Meech standing in front of a billboard with the caption, "Still Meech, still working, still winning." That single caption broke the internet all over again. His fans rallied behind him. The post got millions of likes. Celebrities chimed in, the baby, DDG, and even T commented support emojis. For a second, the internet started to shift. People began saying, maybe 50 went too far. Hashtags like #justice for Meech started trending. The underdog narrative had arrived. And that's when 50 pulled the ultimate petty comeback. He reposted the same photo and added his own caption. "Still working? On what? Acting lessons? Brew." The internet flatlined. Fans said 50 didn't just throw shade, he built a whole forest. Memes rolled in like waves. 50's phone has more smoke than a barbecue. Another read. 50 don't need therapy. He needs Wi-Fi restrictions. At this point, even people who had never watched BM were tuning in just for the beef. 50 had turned a cancelled show into must-see entertainment. But under all that chaos was something deeper, a message that every Hollywood exec was whispering about. Never forget who signs your checks, because no matter how talented Lil Meech was, he was still operating in 50 Cent's universe, and 50 reminded everyone exactly who built it. One insider claimed that even Star's executives were stunned at how fast 50 flipped the narrative. He made himself look like the victim of bad business instead of the guy whose show got canned. That's power. But then, as if this entire saga wasn't dramatic enough, 50 dropped another bombshell. He announced a brand new show, Get Even or Get Eaten. The teaser tagline, "Loyalty expires when the money runs out." The internet instantly lost it. "Ain't no way that ain't a shot at Meech," one fan wrote. Another said, 50 using real beef as marketing strategy, this man's a genius. And the wildest part, he was right. Within 24 hours, Get Even or Get Eaten was trending before a single episode even existed. 50 had turned his feud into free promotion for his next empire. Meanwhile, Meech was still trying to play it cool until TMZ dropped the cherry on top. A video of him being denied entry at a Hollywood event, allegedly because of ongoing industry tension. Fans connected the dots immediately. 50's blackballing him. He's pulling strings. Meech can't catch a break. That theory went viral too. And when reporters asked 50 about it, his answer was so savage it might as well be a verse on Get Rich or Die Tryin'. He said, I don't blackball people. I just stopped picking up the phone. That line right there? Legendary. You could hear the collective gasp through the internet. And while 50 was out promoting new ventures, posting luxury photos, and reminding the world that he never loses, Lil Meech started to look, well, human. Paparazzi caught him outside a restaurant looking exhausted. Fans swarmed him, asking questions. He just said, "Man, I'm over it. Let's move on." But in the internet's eyes, moving on isn't an option. The feud had taken on a life of its own. Fan accounts kept reposting old BMF clips, remixing them with captions like "Art imitates life." One viral TikTok even spliced footage of 50 yelling in power next to Meech's scenes, captioned, "When your boss acts the same on screen and off, by now." It wasn't about who was right, it was about who could stay viral longer. And 50, the undisputed king of digital drama, wasn't losing that crown anytime soon. He closed the week with one last Instagram post, a photo of himself holding a fake award trophy labeled Petty Excellence. His caption, "You win awards for acting. I win awards for accuracy." Mic drop. The internet bowed down. The legend of 50's pettiness reached new heights, but little did fans know this feud was far from over. Because while everyone was laughing at 50's jokes, Lil Meech was quietly plotting a comeback that would flip the script again. And maybe, just maybe, catch 50 Cent off guard for the first time in years. Just when everyone thought the war was over, Lil Meech reappeared like a plot twist nobody saw coming. 3 weeks of silence, and then boom, the man dropped a cryptic trailer on his Instagram titled "The Truth About BMF." No captions, no hashtags, just a 30-second clip of him sitting in a dark room saying, "Everybody got a story, but only one of us got receipts." The internet detonated. Fans screamed, "Meech about to expose 50." Gossip pages turned into countdown clocks. YouTubers started posting theories like detectives in a Netflix docuseries, and when the full video finally dropped, Lil Meech didn't hold back. He spoke calmly, but his words hit like grenades. "I love 50. He gave me a shot." But somewhere along the way, it stopped being about art and started being about control. You can't build an empire by tearing down your soldiers. Boom. Quote of the year. He didn't name drop 50 every second he didn't have to. The subtext was screaming louder than 50's own mixtapes. Meech went on to explain how production issues, creative clashes, and contract politics all led to the show's downfall. But then he added the line that made the industry stop scrolling. "Sometimes legends forget they're human too." That single sentence hit the timeline like thunder. Within minutes, it was trending under hashtag #MeechSpeaks. Celebrities reposted it. Fans called it classy revenge. For the first time in weeks, the internet wasn't laughing, they were listening. Even people who'd sided with 50 started softening. The comments read, "Okay, Meech handled this like a boss. He's not mad, he's matured. 50's great, but this kid's learning how to play chess too." And while 50's ego was built from titanium, even he couldn't resist responding. An hour later, he posted a video of himself sipping champagne with the caption, "Legends forget they're human? Nah, humans forget they ain't legends." Boom. The pettiness reloaded. The post went viral again. Comment sections were now split down the middle. Some called 50 the last real mogul. Others said he was turning into the villain he used to rap about. But 50 wasn't done stirring chaos. 2 days later, he posted a TikTok parodying Meech's interview wearing a hoodie, dim lights, pretending to speak his truth before cracking up mid-sentence. The caption? "I tried being humble. It didn't trend." Fans couldn't believe it. He'd turned a man's emotional moment into sketch comedy. Even DJ academics weighed in, saying, 50 out here treating real life like it's a TV show and he's the only one getting royalties. But Lil Meech didn't flinch this time. He posted a photo on set of a new film, standing beside veteran actor Wood Harris, with the caption, "Back to work. Ain't no time for egos." And that was the moment the power dynamic started shifting, because while 50 was busy roasting, Meech was quietly rebuilding. Reports came out that he'd signed on for 2 major projects, one movie, one series, both outside of 50's universe. And fans were eating it up. From cancellation to comeback, one headline read, "Even the trades took notice." Variety called it the ultimate Hollywood redemption arc, but 50 wasn't the type to let a feel-good story breathe. He fired off another post, a screenshot of the article with his own caption, "Redemption? Don't thank me all at once." Translation? You still owe me your career. And that's the 50 Cent paradox. He'll burn you down and still take credit for the ashes. But here's where the plot thickened again. Behind the scenes, whispers began that Star's executives were reconsidering the BMF universe, not with 50, not with Meech, but with a whole new creative team. Industry chatter claimed both men had made so much noise. The network wanted to capitalize on the attention. So technically, BMF was coming back, but without either of them. The irony, the show they fought over was now being revived because of the very feud that destroyed it. Social media couldn't stop laughing. One viral tweet said, 50 and Meech fighting over BMF just for Stars to recast everybody like it's the Marvel multiverse. Another joked, they turned Black Mafia family into Petty Mafia forever. But the real kicker came when 50 Cent was asked about the reboot rumors during a podcast appearance. He smiled that sly, villainous 50 Cent smirk and said, "Let them try. I built that brand. I am the BMF energy. They can't recreate what they don't understand." Boom. Another quote that shook the room. The host asked, "So you and Meech will never work together again?" 50 shrugged, then dropped a grenade disguised as wisdom. "In this game, bridges don't burn, they just get tolls. One day he'll pay to cross again." The internet erupted. He said that with his whole chest. That's the most 50 Cent thing ever said. This man delivers motivational quotes from the underworld. Meanwhile, Meech was on a completely different frequency. Instead of clapping back, he kept posting subtle wins, gym sessions, movie sets, behind-the-scenes moments. The visual equivalent of "I'm good," and guess what? Fans started gravitating toward him. The longer he stayed quiet, the more powerful he looked. The silence became his statement. It got to the point where even major outlets were writing pieces titled, "How Lil Meech Outsmarted 50 Cent by Saying Nothing." That shift in energy, it drove 50 nuts. Because if there's one thing the man hates more than losing, it's being ignored. So, naturally, he found a new way to stir the pot. At a concert, while performing Many Men, he stopped mid-song and said, "This one for the actors who thought they could outshine the boss." Crowd screamed. Cameras rolled. TikTok went berserk. Clips captioned 50 still trolling Meech on tour flooded the For You page. It was official. This feud had evolved from Hollywood drama into pop culture legend. And as wild as it all was, one truth cut through the madness. Both men needed each other. 50 needed an adversary to keep his brand fiery. Meech needed the conflict to mature into his own identity. One played the villain. The other became the phoenix. By the end of it, fans weren't picking sides anymore. They were watching the saga like a long-running series. When's episode for dropping? One comment read, "This beef better get renewed," and in a twisted, poetic way, it did. Because every time 50 drops a post, every time Meech drops a project, the echoes of BMF live on, not as a TV show, but as the wildest real-life Hollywood soap opera of the decade. In the end, both men walked away scarred but smarter. 50 proved once again that his trolling isn't just entertainment, it's marketing mastery. And Lil Meech, he proved he could survive being publicly roasted by one of the most ruthless moguls in the game and come back shining. So yeah, BMF might be gone, but the beef, oh, that's forever. Because when 50 Cent says, "It's business, not personal," what he really means is, it's both. And if you think this story's over, you don't know 50. He's probably already typing another caption right now with one hand on his phone and the other holding a champagne glass, whispering, "You know I had to do it." And there you have it, the Hollywood heavyweight brawl nobody saw coming. One man lost a show, another gained a viral empire, and somehow both walked away trending. 50 Cent proved that his real superpower isn't producing, its petty precision. And Lil Meech, he turned getting roasted into a redemption arc so powerful, even stars might want to renew the feud for another season. Now the question is, whose side are you on? Is 50 the mastermind mogul keeping the game ruthless and real? Or did Lil Meech just expose how brutal Hollywood's loyalty really is? Drop your verdict in the comments like you're the final judge of this empire, because this debate is just getting started. And before you go anywhere, smash that like button like you're 50 clapping back on Instagram. Subscribe if you live for this kind of messy entertainment warfare. And ring that notification bell because the next scandal is already brewing. 50's enemies multiply faster than his business deals. And Lil Meech's next move might just flip the script again. Here on Truth Tattle, we don't sip tea, we chug it straight from the pot. We turn Hollywood whispers into full-blown sagas, celebrity egos into primetime theater, and every no comment into a headline. So stay locked in, because tomorrow's headline could be even crazier. 50 Cent exposes another star, or Lil Meech strikes back with a movie role that shocks everyone. This is Truth Tattle, where fame meets fire, and nobody walks away clean. Stay tuned, stay messy, and remember, in 50's world, you're either trending or you're next.